Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. Boy, do we have an amazing matchup for you all tonight. I'm your play-by-play Captain Jack, joined by Zella on the color and Cybercat coming in on production. Now, Zella, I have to tell you, I have a song that's ringing in my head, and I want to see if you can hear it. Ready?
Okay.
Dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. We are back in the Blackwatch division for the finals.
Jack, that's just evident of how much of an old man you are compared to
Hey,
everyone else.
you know what? I will accept that. That was the golden age of music, my friend. I don't care what anybody says, except for some Rick Astley. I will escape that just for some Rick Astley. That's the prime time right there. But Blackwatch Division Finals going on tonight again as a repeat of Stage 1, Salt versus Calamity tonight. Now, looking back at the previous matchups between these two teams, Salt lost the Stage 1 Finals despite being the forerunner of Stage 1 to Calamity 3-1 tonight. And I have a theory, and I want you to hear me out, Zella. I think it's because they don't have the executable file tag at the end of their name anymore.
They just
don't have the .exe anymore.
You know what that means, Jack? You know what that means?
What does that mean?
They can't execute.
They can't execute. That's exactly what I was thinking. So we will see tonight. Technically, these teams are tied up at the end of now Stage 2, 3-1. So 3 victories, 1 loss throughout the entirety of Stage 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be starting off on Lijiang Tower tonight. So I'm really interested to see what these teams are going to bring. Zella, why don't you start us off by introducing who's coming in for Calamity tonight?
All right, for Calamity on the DPS, we have Crazy and KBC coming in for the tank line. We have Jag the Nerd and Gentle Touch. And filling out the support line, we have Krosky and Austrail.
And for Salt, we have Wasp and Ghosty Man coming in on the DPS. Silver and Night Knight coming in on the tanks. And Yixi and Widowfaker filling out the support. Now start blowing up in the chat who you all are rooting for this evening. Nova Vixen already in the chat popping off that highlighted Go Calamity tonight. So we're already seeing some major love for Calamity. As soon as our teams are ready and raring to go there, we will get started. If you love what you see here at OCC Scrims, be sure to hit that heart, punch that bell, so you get notified every time we're online. You can also hit that sub button, $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription. We'll support our amazing community as well, give you access to some emotes that we are currently developing for the Twitch channel. So be sure to be looking out for that here in the near future. So with all that being said, it looks like our teams are
ready from Calamity. We just need the ready from Salt here.
All right. So Zella, who are we looking out for tonight? Who are you looking to make the big plays for these two teams?
I know Crazy is an absolute nut on the DPS for Calamity. But aside from, yeah, right. But aside from that, I know that both Ghosty Man and Wasp can be very solid players over for Salt. So it's really dependent on who gets more value out of their heroes. We already see Crazy looking over the Sombra pick with KBC picking up Ashe.
That might be some interesting picks there. As we head into our first map of Lijiang, we're headed to the Gardens to start things off. So a lot of sky space. Ghosty Man's hovering over the Pharah right now, which definitely can be incredibly useful. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and dedicate to that. Now, note, there has been a huge shift in the meta over the last couple of weeks, and heading into the finals this weekend has to be rocking some teams absolutely to their core right now. As pretty much throw an F in the chat, folks. Main tanks are dead. They're all dead. No main tank. I mean, I guess if you consider Winston a main tank, then I guess he's still alive, but barely. But barely.
The big thing, though, is that we do see Ghosty Man on the Pharah here, which I think might be a little bit of an issue solely because you have KBC with Kroski on the Mercy here, just being able to take him out of the sky.
Well, they got to land those shots, though, so let's see if they can make it happen. Already, we see the hybrid dive working their way into the objective for Salt. Looking to see, ooh, big sleep already coming in for Widowfaker on to Gentle Touch, as pretty much they have control of the objective. Crazy trying to see if they can get some picks there in the back line, gets the hack on to Yixi, translocates back to the safety of the health pack, looking to see if they can take down Wasp there in the back line, almost getting them. We see the dynamite come out and they have to translocate once again. The Pharah looking to try to take control, but everybody's focusing on Crazy on that Sombra. They end up getting the pick, but they've given up control of the objective. Gentle and Jag end up getting picks of their own, and control will go to Calamity to start things off.
And this just kind of shows you how dominant both teams are on their respective heroes. Ghosty Man already has their ult on the Pharah, and Gentle Touch is coming up on that whole hog along with the Nano from Australia real quickly here. Yixi already building up to that lovely, lovely Valkyrie.
That is true. They could have had that point. Oh, man. But that pick is going to be a hard start for them. Gentle taking down Ghosty Man with the hook punch combo right there. But the whole hog gets slept out once again by Widowfaker. Not a good way to be pushing them back. But control still climbing for the side of Calamity, 40% and up. As I was saying, that first fight was looking very well in Salt's favor, but they ended up giving it up to chase down Crazy. And now Barrage versus Graviton, and Barrage wins it out with the ground barrage there, but Crazy getting the double kill as we see the follow-up coming in. Australia getting rezzed by Kroski as they continue to hold control. Kroski going into the battle Mercy to try to get them away from the objective.
Yeah, the really big thing here, though, is that Jag and Kroski both used their ults there. It was a 2 ult versus 1 ult fight there, so that means that Salt already is quite even, at least, on the ult economy.
That is true, and it looks like Ghosty Man swapping over to the Genji, despite the fact that Pharah play actually worked out relatively well for them. Gentle getting hooked out, but doesn't end up getting sent over the side. Big EMP, 5-man EMP with the bomb thrown into the action, ends up getting the pick onto Ghosty Man. The silver falls to Gentle Touch, only at 93%, 7% remaining. Somebody's got to touch that objective. Wasp is there, throwing the bomb into the objective, but ends up getting slept out. Thankfully, they're at least touching the objective, and then gets hacked out. No bomb action coming out for Wasp right now as the Nano ends up going in on to Jag the Nerd. Now the whole hog coming out for Gentle, looking to see if they can just push them off this objective. Overtime ticking away right now as they continue to feed in. Anti-Nade comes in as well, tearing up the side of Salt. 100-0. Calamity takes the garden.
Very, very solid plays coming out from Calamity, as we are getting the pause over from Salt. Honestly, very, very tactical DC. I'm kidding. But it looks like we do have a mid-game swap.
Yeah, it looks like we have to swap in.
It might just be technical difficulties here, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they're asking to swap in Soul Tabby for Silver. I even saw it there at the end of the match. Silver was just kind of drifting off to the side. I guess they were having frame rate issues or something like that. So, which is never good when you're trying to contest a map in the last moments. Never a good thing. So,
yeah, it's not always a good thing.
So we can go ahead and get them into the action, get Soul Tab in, and see if that will turn things around for them for this next map. But man, such a dominant showing with the off-tank meta right now from Calamity. Both Jag and Gentle Touch on the Hog Zarya just absolutely popping off left, right, and center around this objective. Did you see any other big plays coming out from either team there?
I did really like Ghosty Man's use of the ult at the very least inside the Graviton. As much as it's unconventional, it still worked in the way that they needed it to. It allowed them to get a little bit of space, and it allowed them to, at the very least, try and get a little bit of footing.
That is true. Okay, so it looks like we do have to actually wait in ordinance with the rules. We do have to wait to see if we can get Silver back into the action before we end up swapping out players. So hopefully we can get Silver back in here and they can take care of that frame rate issue. In the meantime, looking in the chat, Lyrule saying, main tank dead is the reason I'm rank sitting my Ryan one trick account. And I have to say that I've been as a plat player, I've been seeing it a lot in my own games, not nearly as often because obviously this is all very rank dependent. But in platinum matches, you'll see many of the times you'll either see people really desperately trying to hold on to the double shield meta, and sometimes it works out, but very rarely lately has it worked out for them going forward. This whole Winston Zarya or Hog Zarya or Ball Zarya. Zarya seems to be the key pick in a lot of this right now. So it looks like we've gotten some kind of override, I guess, an agreement between the teams to allow the swap to happen. So Soltab is going to go ahead and come in for Silver. Coming in on the Zarya as we head into the night market for this next match. What do you see coming out for the teams there, Zella?
We are seeing the Symmetra come in here on the night market. Very, very solid idea coming in for Ghosty Man. Let's see if it works out for Salt. We're not seeing any changes in the team comp for Calamity, though.
Well, I think the big issue that we're going to see here is the fact that there isn't a shield to absorb the damage coming out from those turrets. But Gentle already getting the first pick on the Wasp is not going to be good for them to start things off. I mean, the fight still has to take place, but KBC just popping off right there, getting the double kill on the healers. And without any healers, I mean, that's pretty much a one fight there, folks. And it looks like Calamity just going to go ahead and push in, run it all over despite the Symmetra turrets, and take the objective and start their percentage climb.
You know, we just saw a very, very quick takeout from Calamity, very quick and decisive. There's a quick fight win, to say the least.
That is true, and despite the fact that, again, we're seeing just the double bubble composition right here, not a lot of shield provided. It looks like now we're going to see Night swapping over to the Hog as well, as Soltab getting the pick onto Gentle Touch. Night following up onto Crazy. That may be the picks they need to be able to move now into this objective with a 4v6 fight. They could take control of this, and there it goes. Ghosty Man's now on the McCree, following up onto KBC and Krosky. They will grab that objective. The only one to get away is Jag the Nerd with that beautiful, beautiful charge.
Beautiful charge indeed, my friend. And we are just seeing kind of the tank difference at the very least. Mainly because of the fact, you know, you see Soltab already having their grab with Jag at 90%, 80% at the beginning of that fight, though.
That is true. And it's all about when those bubbles are useful. We see the hook coming in. Grab gets traded out with the bobs right there as the whole Hog coming out from Gentle. Ends up getting slept out, but KBC's Bob doing damage in the back line as Wasp does it in the front. It is a Bob trap on the objective, folks. But no matter what, it looks like we will see Salt continue to hold this objective as they surpass Calamity.
And that was a very unfortunate loss for Calamity, mainly because of the fact that Calamity used 4 ults that fight, and that they put a massive investment in and managed to get nothing in return. I mean, admittedly, you got the grab out and the nano from Soytab, or sorry, yeah, the grab out from Soytab and Widow.
Oh, stunned out of the EMP by Ghosty Mans. That is not a good way to start things off. And Night following up onto KBC with both DPS out of the action. That's going to push him right back off the objective once again. 75% in climbing for Salt.
Very, very unfortunate, to say the least. for Crazy. I think they were just trying to get rid of it so that way they could swap over those. So no matter what, they were planning on moving. So I think they were just trying to throw it away at that point.
Still, that's a big ultimate that could have been used that ended up getting stunned out there in the end. Bob ends up getting invested by Wasp, though, trying to hold the gate 96, 97% as we see Gentle Touch moving out to the side with Crazy. Deadeye on the objective, no shield to prevent that Deadeye from finding kills as we end up seeing Gentle fall there in the end. The only one left here, the objective right now is Crazy, trying to keep overtime, ticking away right now, ends up getting hooked to death there by Night. The only one left now on the objective is Jag, but gets stunned out before he can touch the objective. 100 to 40%. Salt will tie it up against Calamity as we head to the control center.
Honestly, I think it might be the map geometries that we're seeing different styles come out for both teams, because initially I'm trying to think here. Initially Salt was running the double bubble. They were running that Winston Zarya, and they weren't getting, honestly, a bunch of value out of it. They were just getting shredded compared to the what do you even call that Zarya hog? Have we figured out a name for that yet?
I think it's all just called the double bubble right now, because Zarya is like the key pick. Unless you're running Winston, and then I guess it's a triple bubble.
Well, double bubble is the Winston bubble and the Zarya bubble.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Oh, I've just heard anything with Zarya is now called the double bubble if it's a double off tank. So, you know, people just make this stuff up as we go, I swear. But we're gonna see it once again. Gentle getting the first pick onto Ghosty Mans is gonna be a good start for them. But it looks like the healers are really gonna be the ones that we're focusing on right now. Krosky and Yixi coming in on the Lucio and Mercy. So as one team has the res, the other has the speed to be able to engage and disengage in the fights. And right now, Control going to Calamity as Wasp sends in the dynamite, gets the double kill on Gentle, and Crazy right there looking to gain control. Krosky redditing along the insides, keeping that percentage going just a little bit longer. At the 16% mark, we will see Control go over to Salt.
You know, when you're making that decision, you know, if you want to run a Mercy or a Lucio, especially on a map like Lijiang, you know, the lovely control style of map point, you have to realize what's more, you have to think about what's more important to your fight, initiating and disengaging, or the mid-fight res.
That is true. Well, right now that res ain't gonna work out, as we see the Mei wall had separated out Night there to get taken out by Jag, and now we're seeing the Nano going in, but the beat trying to interrupt it. Deadeye doesn't care a crap about the beat, though. Ends up getting the triple kill, not a shield tank in the vicinity to take care of that. Deadeye, as Soytab ends up getting the pick onto Gentle Touch. Control will continue to climb for the side of Salt, 50% and climbing.
And honestly, McCree in this situation is such a glass cannon. He has no mobility to get away from any sort of hog hook or anything like that. But when you are able to get your ult off, for example, you just get a massive payoff with no shield tank.
That is true, and that is a lot of ultimates that just got invested into that fight. Whole Hog, Graviton, and Blizzard right there, but the objective is captured once again by Calamity, restarting their percentage climb at the 20% mark, 71% for the side of Salt.
But a big unfortunate for them is that they used 3 ults in that fight. Australia already coming up to the Nano, admittedly, and KBC coming up to the Grav at 66%. But, you know, Salt has 4 ults, almost 5, you know, available to them. So they're gonna be at a big ult disadvantage this coming fight.
That's true, but that EMP could be huge if they could earn it up in enough time. But with Jag falling early in that fight, that's not going to be a good way to start. Here comes the Nano in onto Gentle, trying to keep them up in the fight as Crazy picks off Night. Graviton now coming in, trying to see if they can feed into it. Whole Hog now coming out from Night, trying to see if they can push them up. They're up against the wall right now as Ghosty Man's able to get the Deadeye, ends up taking down Krosky as the follow-up comes in on Gentle. Control now going back over to Salt, but the fight is not over yet. Australia able to take down Ghosty Man's mid fight as we see the Icicle coming out for Crazy, trying to hold on to that. The Blizzard is ready to go, but the question is, will Will they pop it to take it back? Here it comes. The Blizzard looking to see if they can take it out, but Yixi popping the Valkyrie to keep everything going. In the fight, it is a 4v4 fight as the feed continues to go back in. Yixi able to get the res on the Night Knight as Jag follows up on the Widowmaker. Anti-Nate coming in as Jag fighting out against Night Knight will end up winning it out. Gentle able to get that pick in concurrence right there at the 99% mark. Control will swap back over to Calamity as they head into final fight territory.
Hey, Jack. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have the air to do all that?
What's breathing?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've been a singer since 5th grade. That capacity. Oh man! Stunned out the Graviton. Ghosty Man's is all about the stuns tonight, I tell ya.
I don't think he didn't stun out the Graviton, though. The Graviton was still cast.
Oh, was it? Sorry, I was sitting here on the control point with everybody else. But Wasp ends up getting the double right there with Soy following up onto Krosky with the Bob in the action too. That's going to dole out a lot of damage, 99-99. It looks like Salt will go ahead and take away the control center, taking away Lijiang Tower and starting us off tonight 1-0 for Salt.
Very, very close game that we were seeing. So hopefully it shows in the rest of it, as these maps I believe are first to 3 technically. Am I correct in that?
Yep. It's whichever team gets to 3 maps first wins out the finals.
All right, that's what I figured. Just wanted to double check on that one. Play the 4th map for fun if they'd like.
That is true. I'm just hoping that we get authentically to a map 5, and then we won't have to worry about it. The hype is big tonight.
So with the map on with the game going to Salt on Lijiang Tower, our next map up is going to be Hollywood. What comp differentials do you think that we might see in Hollywood compared to a control point map like Lijiang?
Well, I think the biggest one that people typically side with is the bunker, but with the absolute destruction of the shield meta, I mean, it's going to be a hard one to see if they can hold on to. I have yet to really see a solid bunker comp honestly, I haven't seen a bunker comp used yet with the new changes to the meta. So, I mean, I feel like it could still be possible, but you have to have an incredible amount of coordination with your team. I mean, Calamity and Salt both seem to have their wits about them. They seem to be working pretty well together. I mean, these fights have been incredibly close throughout the entire night so far. I mean, that last map was a show of force. Calamity gets 100-0 on the first map, and then Salt brings it back 100-40 on the second, and then third map was literally 99-99 until somebody got the last percentage. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what they come out with on Hollywood. But again, the meta is all off tank now. So seeing the Winston Zarya is probably going to be incredibly viable on this, because you have the hybrid of the dive with the off tank bubble to be able to support that. You could run the hog again to be able to hook people off of the high ground. I mean, DPS, you could go any sort of different directions, but I would almost always say, if you're going to run this new double bubble composition, you need to have a Lucio. That is almost key to that composition, because it's almost like the death ball. Like, you got to be able to engage and disengage very quickly with your team in order to be able to take the fights on your terms. And I think that that's what we were, even though Salt ended up succeeding on Lijiang with that composition and not having the Lucio, I think that would have provided a much more needed additional support, as well as the many times that you saw Krosky on that Lucio just denying a whole bunch of damage with that beat drop, like over and over and over again. Salt would throw ultimates, and honestly, it always ended up coming down to Ghosty Man with the Deadeye in order to take them out, because that beat just absorbs so much damage when it gets thrown down. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we're still working in a ever-shifting meta, so we could see the bunker, We could see this new double bubble. You know, it's honestly up to what the teams have practiced and what they think they're comfortable at.
Yeah, because honestly, Zarya Hog might be the current meta at the moment, but if you haven't practiced it, it's pretty much useless.
Yeah.
Practice is what makes your team.
And that's something that you're seeing throughout lots of tournaments right now, as some are going into playoffs, some are getting ready for playoffs, and the massive shift in this meta is really showing, like, you know, does your main tank ever play off tank? Like, ever? That's really the showing force right now, because if you have those flexible players on your team, you know, those you know, as I'm preparing for a podcast tomorrow on this particular subject, like, you're seeing that those that have that flexible tank ability to be able to swap between off tank and main tank rather easily with the same amount of skill, they're working out really well. They're starting to climb up from the, you know, the previous meta where it was literally just kind of bunker down and hope for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I do hate to cut you off, Jack, but we do have the ready from both teams.
All right, let's do it.
It is time for us to go into Hollywood.
I got my sunglasses and my signature pad all ready. Mr. Omnic Director, please, just for me.
What kind of sunglasses? Are they aviators, or are they like those?
Of course, aviators. I mean, if you're going to Hollywood, if you're not in full Top Gun fashion, like, you're not doing it right, fam. And that, I know that's an old one again for the kids. AC/DC and now Top Gun. I know I'm old. I'm a boomer to you all. I get it. But that's all I got to give. So that's.
Regardless, though, you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking shutter shades, though, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, those things are. Those are. I'm glad they haven't came back.
Well, see, now you've unleashed the caster's curse. Now that you say they haven't come back, now here they come. You know, and I mean, we are in 2020. This is the negative of the negatives. So, like, the fact that fashion hasn't just totally, like, plummeted because we're all at home and nobody cares what anybody looks like right now.
We are seeing pretty much mirrored comps on both sides, except we have Crazy on the Sombra and Ghosty on the Widow. Who knows? I think we're going to be seeing a little bit more of a ranged battle coming out for the attacking side.
That is true. I hope that works out for them, but it looks like Crazy already looking to try to get that pick onto Yixi as the res comes in for Wasp. That's going to get them back into the action. It looks like after the hack, Crazy will retreat back to the safety of the team, but this double sniper composition proving to be relatively strong. The environment being a huge benefit right now to Calamity as the hook comes in, gets nothing but bubble. Big anti-nade, though, coming in from Widowfaker, looking to see if they can clean it up, but KBC will take down Night and Wasp before they're able to touch that tank line, and the res now in from Krosky is going to bring back the one they were able to lose. 3 minutes remaining on the clock as we see the reset come in from Salt.
We already see the Nano over for Australia. Widowfaker already matching it with one of her own here, and Soltab almost matching Jag charge for charge, but not quite.
That is true. They're getting up there. That it's all about bubble management running this meta, and it looks like they're trying to take away the environment advantage that they have right now as they go ahead and push through the back line. Here comes the Graviton, whole hog, but ends up getting hooked out and then slept. Both hogs getting taken out of their ultimate so quickly. Not a good position to be in, but Soitab just cleaning it up right now. That is it. The objective is going to be captured right there with about 2 minutes remaining on the clock. As we see Salt get ready to take to the streets, want to give a special thank you to Elfie for that tier 1 subscription. 11 months, folks. The Pog Champ Elfie, 11 months in a row right there. You are the greatest, Elfie. We thank you for all you do for our community.
But getting back into the game. Luckily enough, we managed to, Calamity managed to respawn all in the same location, so they are able to get a quick touch in, as well as the fact that both of the did not use their ults.
2 ultimates for 1, and both of them end up getting slept out, and now we see the EMP. But not there comes the follow-up damage. Gentle able to get the double there onto Ixie and Soytab. They're going to go ahead and push back Salt once again. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining on the clock.
Jag falling to Ghosty Man, but managing to get his lovely Graviton back up. Gentle Touch already having theirs up as well. They might be able to get a quick fight win off here if Gentle is able to stay alive, which unfortunately he is not.
Nope, that's not going to be good for them. They are pushing in fervently, and the picks continue to come in. Night and that hook have just been grabbing anyone and everyone that is near them right now. And right now, Australia kind of a little bit out of position, trying to stay out here to contest, but immediately gets picked off by Night. Knew exactly where they were. With 3 minutes on the clock, we are headed into objective number 2 with a fervor.
Absolutely, and we're seeing Ghosty Man already posted up on the left side of or at least attacker's left side of spawn here, just kind of watching and seeing if he can get anyone. Jag already trying to challenge Night here. I just hope we get to see a challenge, at least for the cart.
Ooh, Graviton coming in there for Jag, as well as the whole hog, as we see it getting canceled out there for Night, but they're not able to get the pick onto Night soon enough, thanks to Yixie's Valkyrie. Australia and Ghosty Man's trading off on the objective right now, as we see the res coming in onto Crazy, but we see the cancel out of Yixie's res right there, trying to get some damage back into the fight right there. Night and Ghosty Man's continuing to clear the objective of all remaining characters from Calamity. It is a 3v4 right now. Widowfaker able to take down their counter as Wasp following up onto KBC. And that is going to be a cleanup of the objective. Just barely 0.49 meters remaining on the cart, but that anti-nade is just going to shut down any chance they had of holding objective number 2. That's going to open up the gates, give them 3 minutes, 10 seconds to make their way to the VIP spot.
And honestly, even that, I'm not quite sure I agree with that choice from Gentle Touch. As much as it gave you a little bit less time for the attackers, it also forced your team to move back and regroup with you, so that way they couldn't take on an early fight.
That is true. That is true right there, and unfortunate, but you know, sometimes it's worth the risk. We'll see if that they can make it happen. Getting into that objective 3 is always the hardest. Big EMP coming in from Crazy as the Bob gets fed onto the cart. Bob also coming in from Wasp, who's set up on the high ground. As again, it's like this mirror match of the Bobs getting slept out every single time they go in, but the Graviton whole hog comes in from Night, cleaning up the objective. Team kill ringing out for the first time tonight in Salt's favor as they head into the VIP spot with 2 minutes to spare.
We do have Australia with their nano just yet, and Gentle coming up on that whole hog real quickly. We might be able to see a quick little recontest.
Ooh, Crazy now coming out on the Doomfist, as well as the nano going in onto Gentle, trying to get the hook there onto Yixie, but the res will come in for Widowfaker as we see Ghosty Man's on the high ground just popping away, trying to see if they can get picks right there. Wasp gets the double as Gentle follows up onto Night, but it is a 5v4 fight, and the spawn advantage is in Calamity's favor. Wasp and Gentle following up on each other's characters right there as they continue to hold on strong right now. Just the picks continue to come in, anti-nade, but no follow-up for the side of Salt as they regroup once again with 1:15 on the clock.
Yeah, a very competent Ana, like for example, like Widowfaker, who knows how to play the nades aggressively, is a very big detriment to this comp, mainly because of the fact that Hog can't heal himself.
That is definitely a big issue for sure. Graviton coming in with the whole hog from Gentle, trying to see if they can hold it together. Anti-Nade comes in as well, but Gentle and Crazy able to get the double, triple kill right there as they just continue to follow up on Salt. This is one of the hardest points to push into on both Escort and Hybrid, trying to get into this last spot because of the spawn advantage. But with 35 seconds on the clock and a lot of ultimates in the bank, this might be in Salt's favor this time around.
It might be in Salt's favor. We are seeing Valkyrie coming up here real quick. With the lack of shields, we also should be seeing Graviton as well, along with Widowfaker's Nano. So hopefully for them, they don't get canceled out.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. 10 seconds remaining on the clock right now as Ghosty trying to get a pick onto one of the healers, trying to deny some of that ability right there. Valkyrie now coming out for NaCl.Exe, trying to provide some major support that's needed for the team, but they're too spaced out. They can't connect between both halves of the team right there. Meteor Strike going in on the far back line as Crazy ends up taking down Wasp, but Night with the Nano gets the double kill into the Graviton, just cleaning up the objective right now is Crazy and Krosky trying to face off against the world right now, but the Dynamite too strong as Soltab just cleans it up with overtime ticking away. They will grab that VIP spot, sending us into round 2 as they swap sides.
If it is any consolation for them, the big plus is that, you know, Calamity managed to take Salt into OT, which, I mean, as if any geez, I can't even speak today, which is, I mean, not much better, but it's still better than just getting completely wiped.
I can definitely concur on that one, and it does provide them an extra resource right there, but it's really going to come down to the fact, can they shut down Calamity? Calamity set up such a strong defense against Salt during that match to run down the clock all the way to the end, and it was only because of the ult economy that they ended up losing out for that final objective spot. But if their attack is just as furious as their defense was, I'm sorry, but I think we might be going into the half 1-1 in favor of Calamity.
Wait, how do you wait 1-1 in favor of someone? How does that work?
Because they're gonna win this map and then get 1-1. Don't question my dad brain. I knew what I meant.
Your dad brain?
My dad brain. All the weird things make sense to me.
I mean, fair enough. You say some pretty weird things too, Jack. But with the near mirror comp again, we'll see what we got going on.
That is true. It looks like KBC this time, though, opting for the Tracer. And I think the thing that's going to be difficult this time around is the amount of damage that each team is able to put out. But it looks like we're seeing the double sniper out for the side of Salt, and that first pick from Night onto KBC after getting slept out by Widow is going to work out well for them. And the res and pick coming in, but going to get rezzed again. It looks like we do have a 6v6 fight going into this objective. Already 40 seconds off the clock as they try to push their way in. Night a little bit out of position, though, almost getting hooked right there, but the anti-nade ends up going in on to KBC. Thankfully, they had the recall to push it in. Crazy able to take down Night, but gets picked off by Ghosty Man. This is a 5v4 fight right now as they push them into the side cafe right there, taking that first tick. Second tick on the objective now. Nano now coming in, trying to provide some support as the Graviton gets thrown in by Soltab. Wasp able to get the double kill on Dostrill and Krosky, and with that Nano support, that is going to be all they need to bring it back into the action. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock as they hold that one final tick on Objective Alpha.
And not only that, but Salt also has 4 ults in their bank compared to 3 there from the lovely side of Calamity. So they're also at an ult advantage here on the defense.
That is true, and with both sites out, I'm not for certain what support they're trying to give one another, because now they're like, okay, now we can see each other now, so cool. And now we're gonna see the Valkyrie get thrown in there to the Graviton. So does the Bob, though, as the Wasp able to take down KBC, trades out with Yixi from Jag. That might give them exactly what they need to be able to push back in here, but they got to get in quickly. The hook coming in. Krosky now out of the fight with both Mercies out of the fight. Going to be really hard to try to hold strong on this. Soltab almost getting taken down as well, but going to be able to retreat to the safety of their on 1 minute 40 seconds remaining on the clock, and still that final tick to be captured.
Absolutely, and we see KBC coming up on the pulse bomb real quick, as well as Australia already having the nano. It's a 2-2 in the ult bank, which is, I mean, honestly, I'm not 100% sure on, because Seoul has the more, I guess, more valuable ult with the Graviton.
That is true. It just seems to be working out for them a lot better, and it looks like Gentle giving up on the Hog to opt in for the Winston, trying to see if they can dive into that backline and get those picks a little bit earlier to help them out. Yixi definitely been kind of a thorn in their side for all those reses they keep popping off. Now we're going to see the Nano and Valkyrie invested into the Graviton, and they end up getting it. The double kill comes in crazy. Now in on the Echo, gets the double kill as Jag follows up onto Yixi and Widowfaker. The last tick is captured with 40 seconds on the clock. That'll give them about 3 minutes to move their way into the streets.
The Nano Monkey is probably the best that you could have done in that situation. You managed to get a lot of value out of it as well, taking out 2 people on the side of Salt before your team even managed to completely make the move in.
That is true, and investing all that damage into a monkey that was Gravitoned anyway just gave them a guarantee that somebody was going to get picked off in that fight.
Yeah, someone was going to die, and it sure as heck wasn't going to be Gentle.
Nope, no it was not. And now we're seeing the Graviton come out in reverse, but Ghosty Man's able to take down Gentle before they're able to do any damage. The whole Hog and the Bob all get invested into the fight, and I think Salt is just getting a little complacent there. That was a lot of ultimates for not a lot of return, except for just creating some space on the cart.
Yeah, you know, I mean, admittedly, Seoul is already 44% to their next grab. They've been just popping their grabs like candy, not gonna lie. But investing both Bob and the whole Hog as well, along with the now Valkyrie, is just absolutely insane.
That is a quick shutdown right there from Night Knight, though, onto the duplicate. As KBC able to pick off Night Knight, but the res comes back in quickly, and the picks follow up. Despite just using support ultimates right there, they were able to hold that objective very strong with 1 minute 30 remaining on the clock.
True, they did hold it very strong, as well as, you know, you see KBC and Crazy swapping over to the Genji Echo. I think they're just trying to get a little bit more verticality and a little bit more mobility injected into their game, trying to go for a more hybrid dive style.
I can definitely understand that, and honestly, one thing that I'm surprised isn't being run against this composition is the Grab Dragon. Why aren't we seeing any Hanzo in this? I mean, especially for this, I mean, not that Salt needs it, as we're seeing right here, they're just cleaning up once again. But I mean, if a Soltab is getting those grabs like every other fight, like why wouldn't you want to pair a dragon to mop up any damage that you could be doing, you know?
I mean, that is a very solid thing, but aside from that, you have to think of what your value provides. Yeah, that's the big word right there, is that big V word, value. You know, Hanzo just doesn't have a lot of value compared to, like, say, an Ashe or, say, a McCree, at least in this comp specifically.
I guess that makes sense, but we are seeing that Deadeye popping off for McCree. Lots of value, gets the double kill right there. And with only 20 seconds remaining on the clock, it is proving very difficult for Calamity to push in here. I'm really hoping that they'll be able to get this cart to its final resting place. Nano going in onto the whole Hog as Bob gets invested into the fight as well, getting slept out as we see Gentle moving into the objective. Overtime ticking away as the Graviton comes out from Jack the Nerd. trying to take Soul out of the fight, will be successful, but the res comes in from Yixi, and now Crazy in with the duplicate with the Hog, ends up getting picks of their own as well, just pushing back, trying to take Soul out of the fight, and will be successful. Jag able to follow up onto Wasp, and it is the Calamity show. Overtime ticking away right now as they make their way into objective number 2 with not any time to be spared.
That is true. They only need one solid fight, and actually they don't even need a solid fight. They just need to, like, I don't know, like, say have the Ana accidentally step off the cart. Anything could happen in these, you know, long overtime situations. That
is true.
That this could either be a massive point win for Calamity or a just devastating loss.
That's true, and with the blade, Nano Blade actually coming online, they grab the objective, they're not even able to get there, and here comes the blade in from KBC, but gets shut down by Ghosty Man's immediately. Picks continue to come in on the cart, but it looks like they will end up grabbing that objective. Team kill again, breaking out for Salt, but they got a minute 10 on the clock.
Wait a second, what? What?
What?
So I was no. I was seeing 0.01 meters on the on my end. I was seeing 0.01 meters.
No, I did not see that on my end. They captured it on my end.
Okay.
The Bob is on. The Bob gets fed in by Wasp, as well as the Nano going in on Wasp, which I thought was interesting. Crazy getting picks, but gets taken down by Ghosty Mans as the res comes in on to Soul Tab. That's going to allow them to get back and hold this objective. Again, we're headed into that final fight territory again. 20 seconds remaining on the clock, and they still got quite a bit to push that payload.
That is true. At about another 45 meters, give or take, with 4 ults on any given side here. Koski opening it up with the Valkyries.
That is true. Yixi just barely able to get away, but ends up getting taken down. But Soul Tab on the objective gets the double, the Primal coming out, as well as the double whole hogs from Crazy and Gentle. Crazy now out of the duplicate form, trying to hold on to the objective with Gentle. Bob getting fed back in by Wasp, just doing a whole bunch of damage. The Graviton ends up grabbing floor right there, but the damage isn't there to try to follow up on. Overtime continuing to tick away as they try to push them off the objective. Team Proud and Salt walks away with the victory here on Hollywood, bringing us to 2-0 in their favor before halftime.
And you know, when you're Calamity, you just gotta take a little bit of time and think, you know, we're one map away from losing this in all reality, and you have to acknowledge that, but you also have to realize that you can take it back, is what I would say in this situation.
I can definitely agree with that, and I mean, Calamity did win out the Stage 1 finals, so we know that they have the capability to do it, and that's actually challenging me to probably look at the VOD from that and see what has changed for these two teams going from Stage 1 to 2. Is there a difference in team composition, so to be? I know that Soul Tab and Australia are two members of either team that we haven't seen before, so could those be the big names that are really changing it up as we're here in the finals? Let us know there in the chat what you all think we might see in the second half. We'll be back with more OCCS action in about 5 minutes.
atmosphere. Maybe it was just an affair. Baby, I'm like a racketeer in this love business. So I told him, yeah. Just another day. Business.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. That 5 minutes goes by so quickly, but we got so much incredible action here at Overwatch Calvary Club Scrims that we just could not wait any longer to bring it back to you. Calamity versus Salt in the Blackwatch division tonight, and Salt proving to be the strong opponent that we expected them to be this time around, ending the first half 2-0 against Calamity. But some swaps during the half have brought us back to what we saw during stage one. As I promised, I did look back at the previous VOD, and other than Australia, we now have the team that came out victorious against Salt during stage one. Crazy Mango now coming in on the DPS. KBC swapping over to Tank with Gentle Touch, and Krosky with Australia. Salt, though, completely swapped up for the most part. The only ones that we're seeing that are similar from the first matchup during stage one was Night and Widowfaker on their respective tank and support roles. Everybody else is a little different from stage one. I'm your play-by-play Captain Jack, if I could talk, joined by Zella on the color. Zella, looking at now these new compositions and kind of basing it off of what we saw during the stage one finals, do you think that these changes are making Salt a more formidable opponent against Calamity?
I definitely think that it's going to make them a more formidable opponent, because this is the team that beat Salt in trying to think here, not season one, in
stage one,
correct.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much the team that just absolutely rolled everyone in their division for the most part. And honestly, with KBC back on that Zarya, I'm genuinely pretty scared. KBC is an absolute nut on Zarya. We've all seen it.
Well, that's probably a good thing, because Soytab has been pretty nutty on the Zarya themselves as well. And with this new meta, it's really showing the different, like how big the difference in composition is. I mean, double sniper isn't something that is just kind of like a throwaway pick anymore. Like, you can literally run the Ashe, the Hanzo, the Widowmaker, and be viable, instead of like really having to wait for that shield to go down. Like, you can get pretty free range picks for the most part, as we've been seeing. We saw a lot of that there on Hollywood as well. But as we move into the best place to get your kicks, Route 66, Calamity now coming back with that, with the setup they had during stage one. It's going to be interesting to see if they can shut Salt down, because honestly, this is their last chance, last opportunity. Mom spaghetti and all that jazz. Mom spaghetti, on the sweater already, as they say in the biz. But Salt has been putting up an incredible fight tonight. So Calamity has got quite an uphill battle if they want to reverse sweep this thing.
100%. And not only does Calamity have an uphill battle, they also have a one and done kind of battle as well. They lose this next map and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So well, that's just TLDR, don't choke.
Well, I'm really hoping to see what is going to happen as soon as the teams are ready to go. I'm taking a look in the chat to see what is going on. We actually got a view during halftime of what is going on with Silber's computer, and
it is not fun.
You'd swear that Silber's computer must be possessed at this point. Like, I don't know what to make of it, but instead of calling a tech person to fix it, I'd probably be calling an exorcist at this point. The face that I saw being made by the various mice trackers. Yeah, you better call a priest at this point.
No. I don't think you need a priest. I'm pretty sure you need the Vatican, because
you might as well So somebody call up the Pope. All right, we gotta get the Pope down here. This is the big one. So- oh my goodness! You know 3 popes in your area, Cyber. there's only one Pope, dude. He lives at the Vatican. We did, but we said the priests weren't enough. We gotta go to the top. Got to get the Pope. Got to get that supreme power against this technological evil.
Wait, what?
Oh
wait,
my-
wait.
What? I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Oh, who paused the game?
I didn't pause it, and I'm owner. Oh, there we go.
Oh no, we lost Mango. No, bye Mango. Mango, go bye bye. That's weird because Cyber literally just said pause the game, so I thought you did.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, wait a second.
Oh my
what?
gosh. All right, so unfortunately, it looks like Mango not going to be coming in for that. It looks like Jag will be swapped back into the tank role with KBC going back on DPS. And I got to be honest, like they've been putting up a heck of a fight, but this composition has not been working out so far. So I'm going to be really interested to see how this works. And this is a whole different setup now, because what do you do with big Earls now? Like, do you still set up on big Earls? I mean, no main tank meta is really gonna change how the game is played.
You just straight up can't play on big Earls whatsoever.
Yep.
It's all ground. There's no high ground whatsoever.
Yes.
Just nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I always was one against big Earls. Every time I play, I'm like, you set up at the choke, so you have enough time to get back to fight them off at the end of Objective 1. That's what you do. And every time I see people on big Earls, I'm like, what the heck are you doing? You're not going to get back in time. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So now the meta has gone into my beliefs. So I appreciate you, meta.
Now the meta has turned into there is no high ground, there is no low ground, there is only flat.
Yep. It's all flat. All flat all the time.
Wait, it's flat?
Yep.
Always
It's all
has
flat.
been.
Always.
You were supposed
The
to
meme.
complete the meme.
Sorry, I didn't know that you were spouting off the meme. It's relatively new. All right. Picks already coming in for the side of Assault. Ends up getting that double right there as the reses come in. Ghosty Man's able to pick off Crazy, but will come back and take Night Night out of the action. And it looks like Calamity gonna be holding a very, very close hold right here. Something we typically see with a May for this objective.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems definitely like something that we would be seeing with a May currently. But you know what? They're just saying screw it. But we do see Wasp still slightly pushing the payload here, and that setup was kind of just a backfire for him, losing the gentle touch.
Yep, that was not a good way to keep things going right there. Unfortunately, without a shield, it's hard to hold that room unless you got like a Batiste to be able to pop down immortality and provide a whole bunch of healing. But
even with a shield though, it's pretty nuts.
that's true. That's why you need the double shield and the May, which, as you all know, does not exist anymore. There is no main tank meta anymore. Big anti-nade though, coming in from Widowfaker. Not a lot of follow-up coming in on that though, as we see Night Night in the back line, looking to get some picks. Gentle with the whole hog ends up taking Night Night out of the action and pushing the rest of the team away from the objective, looking to get that hook, but gets slept out as they try to take down Soytab. And it is a continued fire right here. Soytab just hugging Rock, just trying to hope that that Rock will defend them. And it's not enough right there. And it looks like right outside of Big Earls, they will hold that point once again. 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
Very solid play in general. You see Jag already up to their nice old juicy Graviton Surge. Crazy coming up on the Bob as well. But unfortunately, you know, we aren't seeing anything in the way of ult, whereas Salt has almost 5.
Yep. Well, 4 now as Wasp gets sent back to spawn by Crazy. Not a good way to start that off, but Soytab and Night looking to use that whole hog Graviton combination again. Here it comes. The Graviton comes in and the Bob gets fed in as well to the Graviton. Just trying to pour out a whole bunch of damage. Big hook in from Gentle Touch. Takes Night out of the action thanks to the help from the Bob, and those ultimates will get wasted as Soytab ends up falling. Wasp will end up taking them out as well. The res coming in from Krosky, though, brings Gentle back into the action. Only a minute remaining on the clock, and Calamity is looking to lock down Objective 1.
Hey, Jack, quick question.
Yep.
Who would win, 2 tank ultimates or 1 hook boy?
1 hook boy, obviously. Well, 1 hook boy and 1 robotic butler, I think is what you should be saying.
1 hook boy.
Oh, one of those beep beep beeps. Alrighty, 40 seconds on the clock. Here comes another beep boy, robotic butler into the action, but Crazy getting the double kill on the healers. Gonna shut down this push before it even began. That ult might as well have just been wasted right there, because with those 2 picks, you're not gonna be pushing very far. 20 seconds remaining on the clock as we head into final fight territory.
We're seeing a pretty much complete swap of the ult charges that we were seeing earlier. Calamity coming up with 4 here compared to Salt's 2.
That is true, and it looks like the res is going to come in for Wasp after the Valkyrie gets poured in. High Noon comes in as well, doesn't get the value that it's looking for, though, as the payload starts moving its way forward. Wasp able to take down Crazy. Big EMP, ends up getting 3. Here comes the Nano. Whole hog with the Bob into the action. It's a battle of the Qs right now, just trying to see if they can get picks on the objective. Gentle takes down Ghosty Man. The hook comes in on Austrail, but the Bob will help take out Night. Graviton holding everybody else together. The only one left is Soytab, trying to see if they can take down this 1v4, but will end up falling as overtime ticks away. Not a single objective captured. 73.31 meters pushed by the side of Salt, and I gotta say, Calamity must have taken a dip in their nutty jar, because they are coming back with a vengeance.
They are just not having anything today, and we are seeing Crazy debate on taking the Hanzo. Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, personally, I feel like it's a viable pick. I know that you disagreed with me because he doesn't have a lot of mobility or whatnot, but I mean, the same thing goes with the Ashe, and Crazy, unlike Ashe, very similar to Widowmaker, has not only the Sonic Arrow ability, so you're able to figure out where people are, whereas we've been seeing the Sombra being played a lot, so that would be pretty useful. And then you have the Storm Arrow, which can, if used correctly, can melt any tank in the game. And without a shield to be able to combat that, I'd say that that's pretty good odds. And especially with Ghosty Man coming out on the Widow, I think that this could work. And then you have the Grav Dragon. You don't have to use the whole hog to possibly get the kills. You just use the Grav Dragon, and you do get the kills.
But do you really get the kills?
You don't have any preventative ults. How do you shut it down?
Let's see here. Ononade and Mercy Valve. GG.
If the Mercy is in the Graviton, I don't think that works out very well. I hate to tell you that. Your thoughts are very flawed right there, but Ghosty Man, so popping off. That Hanzo ain't gonna be useful right now. And it looks like Crazy will swap over to the Ashe regardless, so the entire hill I tried to die on is now dead thanks to Crazy. Appreciate it. But Ghosty Man's not even letting Crazy get out of spawn. Like, not even gonna let that happen. We are full spawn camp mode right here with a Ghosty Man who already has their ultimate. Ooh!
This is not your time.
KBC will get that pick onto Ghosty Man, so, but the res comes in from Yuxi, so let's start that over again. But now we got the double bubble coming out. Gentle on that Winston, trying to push into the objective, gets those first picks with the help of Crazy, and it is a clean up right there. Now remember, they only have to get to 73 meters. They're already a third of the way to their first victory this evening. Beep, reverse sweep incoming, folks.
So I do have a quick question. How does Sombra, who has no sort of group ability whatsoever, get an environmental kill?
Getting the hack after they're already over the side.
True, but wouldn't you see the hack icon next to the environmental kill?
I don't know. Ooh, big EMP coming in though as we try to see the team get back into the action with the dive. KBC and Crazy just cleaning it up as Gentle takes down Soy Tab. The res able to come in from Yixi, but gets taken down by the nanoed monkey. Gentle, they're pushing their way in. Soy Tab trying to hold on with Widowfaker now coming in as the Lucio gets hacked out, and that is it. The Primal comes out as we see Ghosty Man's just barely able to touch the objective, and that is it. Beep, reverse sweep incoming, folks, as Calamity takes a Route 66, making it 1-2 in tonight's match.
Oh, beep, reverse sweep. Who knows? We do see Jag picking up the play of the game here with a nice clean 4K. Just look at this. Clean 4K.
What?
What?
Wait.
What?
Were those the lobs that got them?
Yeah.
That seems so. It seems so delayed though. That was so weird because he like turned around like after he shot the lobs off, and then it was like they're dead.
The lobs do have travel time. You're aware of this, correct?
It was just so odd to watch. It was like what's that song by Lonely Island? Cool guys don't look at explosions. He just lobs them off and then walks away. He's like, yeah, they'll kill him. It's no big deal. They totally won't get away. No worries. Anyways, how y'all doing there, chat? We appreciate you.
We do appreciate you, chat. We'll have a little bit of a heart-to-heart real quick.
Yeah, let's have a little ASMR time here. Get a little thumps on the mic. Anyways, I don't know what we're doing at this point. It is so deadly hot in my room right now. So Calamity able to take it back, locking down Objective 1 on Route 66. As we head to our next map, Temple of Anubis.
It's not an old bus, it's Anubis.
Yeah, it's not an old bus, it's a new bus. But I mean, I gotta be honest with you, with how dominant Salt was during the first half, how did Calamity turn that around?
Yes. Yes.
You and the color are supposed to answer the question, not just be like, yes. Yes, that's
how
they did the thing.
How did they turn it around? Yes.
Yes, they did that. That's what they did. That they did that thing. Oh goodness. But I mean, I feel like despite the fact that even though Mango was supposed to come in and we were supposed to see this drastic change, we saw the drastic change anyway.
Maybe
but we didn't really see a change in the compositions. So are we seeing more target focus from Calamity? Is Salt not popping off as hard as they were in the previous round? Like, what do you think it is, Zella?
I don't know. Maybe the downtime messed with Salt a little bit and just caught him off the game.
Taking a break slowed down the Salt train? Is that what you're saying?
It might have slowed down the Salt train.
Ooh, well, that's not good.
Yeah,
I mean, you got plan for that break, man. Got plan for it.
Yeah, but there are just some times where you just can't. There's nothing you can do. You just can't. All
right. Well, I guess that'll be something for next season. No breaks in between maps 2 and 3 now to prevent prevent teams from losing their steam.
Jack, if not for the teams, think about what it would do to us.
I know what it'd do to us. That's why it's a joke. is sarcasm, my friend. I would die.
Forget about the teams. What about us?
What about us as the casting team? Who would die?
Well, we do.
No, but I mean, if I feel like I feel like those are some valid questions to ask right now, though, because Calamity just completely turned things around without really changing their composition at all. So I feel like it's a combination of maybe just some better communication, some better target focus. Like, obviously, Ghosty Mans and the healers are the ones to shoot for. Like, those are the ones to go for. And now Salt is like, okay, you got used to one composition. Let's try a different one.
Let's try a different one.
Let's try something new. What do you see there, Zella? Because I don't think it looks anything at all.
Oh no! they messed up the top rope charge that we saw them do last time. I'm
not even for certain what they were trying to do. They just wasted 40 seconds trying to set up a teleporter. But nevertheless, Wasp coming in deadly as the Reaper gets the double kill, make that triple. Is Australia able to fall as well? And that's a team kill again for Salt, just locking down the objective within the first minute, despite whatever teleporter they were trying to set up there.
Well,
like, were they trying to get to the high ground above the objective?
No,
like,
they were trying to do the top rope shatter that we saw last game.
The
top rope shatter, the top rope charge. So they teleported up the Reinhardt up top, and we're expecting to get someone off the top.
Yeah, nobody was up there, so I don't know what they were looking for.
No, Night just completely missed his charge and ran into the wall.
That's too bad. Well, Crazy is going to turn things around along with Jag, getting a couple of picks right there. And the Ultimate's continuing to charge for either side right now. It looks like Ghosty Man's barrier is going to be the one that's going to be online first. But seeing this Ryan Zarya in the action is kind of interesting after everything we've seen tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we are not used to here. But honestly, we are seeing Night on that Reinhardt here, so who knows? We just might not matter either way.
Ooh, Night turning right around, taking KBC out of the action with that tackle. Not going to be a good start for them. Barrier now going up for Ghosty Mans as they push into the objective with no shield tank. It's a free shatter for Night as they push in with the Nano. They are cleaning it up right now. First tick on the objective at the 44-second mark. Tackle coming in, looking to take down Jag, and will be successful as well. Looking to get that second tick as the Valkyrie from Krotsky just holding the objective for right now, just trying to keep things going. Gentle able to get the pick on the Ghosty Man as we see the hat come in on to Night. That second tick so close, 1.3 meter or 1.3% away from them being able to grab it, but it's not going to happen. They push them off too quickly, too fast. But they still have 4 minutes to take this objective, though.
They used 4 ults to initiate that fight. They used the wall from Ghosty Man, they used Nano, they used Shatter, and then they used something else. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't say I remember what it was either. Unless they used Grav, but I don't think they did.
They might have.
But here comes the Grav with the Blossom traded. Allows Soytab and Wops to get picks of their own. Bob is on the objective, so it will give them time to get back into the fight right there. Anti-nade going in. Bob ends up getting booped off the objective there at the last minute, but they got enough time to get back into the action. Big slam now coming in from Gentle. Back in on the Hammond. EMP, mad EMP comes in, but the follow-up is just not strong enough to take down all the damage. Now the Graviton coming out from Soytab. That's going to go ahead and clean them up. Now Nano going in onto Wasp, trying to see if they can get some picks on whoever ends up touching the objective. Second tick comes in. Shatter in 3.01 minutes on the objective remaining as we see them go into round number 2.
Very, very solid plays coming out from Salt. Salt just kind of saying, you know what? You got one map on us. That's whatever. We're taking this last map. We're not going to a map 5.
I mean, they literally switched up just about their entire composition. So, needless to say, as Lyrule currently saying in the chat, confusion is the best offense. And it truly is. Like, not expecting that Reinhardt composition to come in for this fight really changes up how you play the game because, it was free shatters for Night the entire time.
Is that gentle touch on Reinhardt?
Yes. It looks like we're going back to the old ways now.
Reinhardt is actually being played?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, we just saw it, dude.
But no, but like for something other than a 1 round?
Yeah, it looks like. I mean, we saw them play it. We saw them play it a couple rounds on Lijiang, didn't we? I think they played it a couple rounds. I don't think it was just the first round that they played Ryan. I think another team played at least Ryan on the second round. Nevertheless, though, now we're going back to the shield meta. I guess main tanks do still exist in this game. Blizzard has not completely deleted them. As a matter of fact, we are not getting just 1 main tank, but 2 main tanks from the side of Calamity. They're like, okay, you want to go back to the old ways? We'll go back to the old ways. And the old ways include victory as they go ahead and they move their way to the high ground. KBC getting the double kill onto Yixi and Wasp. And they're like, if you can push in, we can do better. Here they go, taking them all down. Ghosty Man ends up getting crazy there, though, on the high ground, dropping back down to the objective. But the picks are coming in as strong as Jag takes down Widowfaker and Ghosty Man. And with just a couple of more seconds from Salt, Calamity will take Objective Alpha, giving them 6 minutes to take Objective Bravo.
Absolutely insane, but we did see Salt with about 6 minutes left on the clock, and Calamity managed to burn off 3 of them.
Yep. Let's see if Salt's defense is just as strong.
Yeah, they can only hope.
All right, well, now we see the Zarya coming back out for Soy Tab. A lot of ult charge being lost in that fight, though, by swapping characters. Dynamite coming in, ends up getting 2 there for Crazy, as we see the Discord onto KBC. The Amp Matrix now coming out, gets the double. Tire gets traded, takes down the main tanks as Wasp takes down Crazy. Kroski able to follow up onto Widowfaker. They're trying to see if they can still solidify this objective, but nope, I do not think it is happening right there. But we did see the trade of 2 ults for 1 there for the side of Salt. Will that give them enough to hold in the next 5 minutes?
You would hope so, at the very least. We do see Gentle Touch with the Shatter online, as well as Crazy coming up with the Bob. So we are at a slight advantage for the attackers with those 2 ultimates coming online.
That is true, and this time around, they don't have the Bob, or they don't have the Ana to sleep the Bob like we've been seeing from both of these teams. So, really going to be interesting to see how this works out as they move their way back in. Bobs get traded in on the side of the objective, looking to see if they can get that Shatter as Gentle. Here comes Big Shatter, but gets booped out of the way. Not able to get the Shatter that they were looking for as Wasp takes down Crazy's Bob and takes down KBC going for the hack. Here comes the Nano in onto Night, looking to push the rest of the team back as Ghosty Man takes down Crazy. The Immortality gets invested, but not long enough as they literally get pushed all the way back to the gates of objective number 2 and are still being fought out of the objective. 4 minutes remaining on the clock as we see the stronghold from Salt.
Yeah, we are seeing that stronghold, and as well as the fact that we saw Bob come out, we also saw the Nano out from Widowfaker. And we see Crazy actually dropping over to the Widow and just getting rid of Wasp there with Yixi with the res.
That is true. This is going to be a huge combo coming up, though. If Jag can get a majority of them in that Gravitic Flux, it could be huge. Graviton Surge coming out, though, as the tackle comes in. Gravitic Flux comes out, gets 3, able to take down Widowfaker. Still waiting on that EMP, though, but it's not going to happen because Soytab got the double on the DPS. They don't have enough to push in, and that's another 50 seconds off the clock for the side of Calamity.
And not only is it another 50 seconds off the clock, but that means that Calamity now has a lower time bank than Salt.
That is true. That is true. But we've seen time and again that time bank does not matter nearly as much as we'd like to think. And we're seeing them swap back over to the Hog Zarya. And I'm wondering how well this is going to work out with Widowfaker on that Ana still.
Well, I mean, we've been seeing Widowfaker play Ana pretty much the entire night, and nothing's really changed.
I concur, but now we're seeing it with not much of a contest and a shield on their end. And that tire's not going to help matters either. As we see Ghosty Man's getting the pick onto Jack and Australia and KBC. Big old triple kill, quad kill. The Ghosty Man's just going at it, and Wasp is like, can you at least let me get two? And that's going to send them back to spawn once again. 2 minutes remaining on the clock for Calamity.
The absolute nut Ghosty Man coming out, picking up 4 on the exit.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge for them right there. And now we're seeing the Gentle Touch moving over to the Winston now. All these swaps are just giving up so much ult percentage.
Yeah, 100%, and that's just a little bit of an issue, you know, just a little bit. But I think what Gentle's trying to do is they're trying to get Wasp off their high ground and get rid of Widowfaker.
Well, unfortunately, it's working half right. I mean, they ended up losing their Ana right there. And the res now coming in from Yixi. Also, the nano in onto Night. The Bob gets invested into the point as well. And with a minute 10 on the clock, you gotta think that maybe that was just one too many ultimates. But I mean, with a tire, grab, shatter, and Valk all online for Salt, I mean, they might have ultimates to spare.
They might have a couple ultimates to spare, but you know, we do have Bob, we do have Valkyrie, and we do have Nano coming online here. So it is 3-3, actually 3-4 with Night earning that shadow pretty quickly here. But you know, you can only hope for Calamity's sake here.
That's true, and here comes the Nano coming in onto Gentle, trying to go in onto Night, but ends up retreating back for some reason, ends up getting caught in the grab by Soytab, and the Bob gets invested by Crazy, trying to see if they can get the picks that they're looking for. The res comes in from Yixi on to Ghosty Man's as the Bob retreats from the objective. Only 10 seconds remaining on the clock, and I hate to say it, but I think Salt is going to take this championship.
Honestly, I'm not quite sure if Gentle Touch has enough time to get back. And that looks like that will be all.
Nope.
Salt takes the series 3-1 and takes the championship.
That is true. It was such a close match, hoping for that reverse sweep to a map 5, but Salt was just not having it. They said our bedtime's really soon and we gotta go home, so we're just gonna end this now. No big deal. We saw that tire come in, only ended up getting 1, but then you just see Ghosty Man's like, nah, I'll just come in here and do all the things that my tire didn't do. Get the quad kill. No big deal.
All the things.
I'll do all the things. No worries. So go ahead, start popping off in the chat there. Let us know who y'all are giving your player of the match for this Blackwatch finals. And I will give the privilege to Zella to start us off tonight.
Oh, you're gonna give it to me? All right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to give my player of the match over to Soytab or Soytab, however they like to pronounce their names. But the big thing is, and what really solidified it for me was just how quickly they were getting those graviton surges. Even with no shields being available, they were still pretty much constantly high charge, and along with that, they pretty much always had their ult online at least every other fight.
I can definitely agree with that. And although I would love to give some tank love as well, I think I'm going to give some love to the heals tonight and send it over to Yixi. Yixi on that Mercy a majority of the evening, going for reses that normally you probably shouldn't be going for if you don't want to get picked off by a double sniper.
I believe that is what we like to call the big kahunas res.
Yes, lots of big kahunas reses out from Yixi tonight. Just doing an incredible job on that Mercy overall this evening. So gotta give my love to Yixi tonight. Looking at the upcoming schedule, we do have a few more matches here for the season. I'm just going to pull that up here rather quickly. So I do want to remind you all, if you love what you see here, be sure to hit that heart, punch that bell, subscribe if you can to support our community. We definitely appreciate it. So coming up for the rest of the week, tomorrow we have the Deadlock playoffs. This is actually the only division that we have that has enough teams to actually have a playoffs match to determine who goes to the finals. So Deadlock will be playing off tomorrow night. I'm not for certain what teams that
I believe it is EWP and Phoenix Rising.
EWP and Phoenix Rising. Ooh, those are some big names right there. And they will go off to stand against our finals match the following Monday against
Game of Throws. They are actually currently top by a 1 map differential.
Yeah, that's a really close one right there. So be sure to tune in right here, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be this Monday, tomorrow night rather, as well as next Monday is going to be the finals match for the Deadlock division. And that's going to be the end of Season 3, folks. We've got a lot of great things in the pike, ready to see what the new season is going to bring us here in a month or two. And I'm really hoping that we see a lot of incredible people coming back to cheer these teams on. So, do we have anything else to put out, gentlemen?
I do at the very least.
Okay.
So as we were kind of saying, with the exit of, or with the end of this season, we're always in need of both casters and our lovely producers. Thank you so much, Cybercat, for doing that for us today. So if you want to do what me and Jag are doing, then, or not Jag, me and Jack are doing, join the Discord and shoot a message over to either Captain Jack, as you see kind of here on the lovely stream tonight, or Jag the Nerd, one of our admins. They'll start hooking you up if you want to do production. Talk to them as well. But aside from that, we hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. We hope you tune in tomorrow for the Deadlock matches. And I believe that's it.
Yep, that's all we got. And remember, you don't need any type of practice to join our team. I started 2 years ago in this very organization with just the ability to talk about Overwatch and talk a lot. That was all.
Don't forget talking fast.
Talking fast, talking a lot, not breathing, and knowing some stuff about Overwatch. That's how I started casting, and now here I am 2 years later. So, if you feel that you're really interested in it, you're more than welcome. Again, reach out to myself or Jag the Nerd. We'll get you hooked up. Looking in the chat, the only vote I see is Night for playing a shield character. I mean, Night wasn't the only one that played a shield, but I'll give you that one since we all know the shield meta's dead. F in the chat, my folks. What's a shield? It's that little bubble thing, that double bubble thing. That's what a shield is now. It's not a big rectangle. Don't stand behind the big rectangles anymore because they don't exist.
Rectangle?
Yep, no big rectangles, no big half circles, nothing. Just bubbles everywhere. All right, folks, that's it for us here at Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. I'm Captain Jet.
And I'm Zell.
And we'll see y'all next time.